very passionate and emotional presentation. I think it served its purpose. And now we go to the last talk of this session, and we will have Professor Sen Nieh. Professor Sen Nieh is Senior Professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering at the Catholic University of America, having previously served as 5 consecutive terms as departmental chair. He has published more than 100 scientific publications, research publications, 1 college textbook, 1 computer code, and 7 United States and foreign patents. He is recipient of the Lectureship Award of the United Nations, multiple awards. He has been a close monitor of the policies of the Communist Party of China and has been a vociferous advocate against the suppression of human rights in the mainland China since CCP took power. He has been practicing Falun Gong for 26 years. Professor Nieh has been very active advocate, organizer, and a dedicated speaker, leader of the community, talking about the oppression of ordinary citizens who are practicing Falun Gong in communist China. We had Neelaji talk about organ harvesting, and Professor Sen Nieh will talk about those issues in communist occupied China. I am very proud to say that he is Director of Outreach for Taiwan for ICHRRF. He'll be speaking about ongoing atrocities on female Falun Gong practitioners in China. Professor Sen Nieh.
Thank you. Thanks for the kind introductions. I'd like to commend the great efforts and the leadership of Dr. Adia Yanji, Carl Clements, and the teams to organize this important 2-day conference of atrocity of women. As I heard yesterday, we like to have our voice for those voiceless. We don't want to only speak up, we want to be heard. I'm very happy that there are medias today, comms, TVs, newspaper, and the shortwave radios. Then I want to switch gears to the East, the communist China. My topic is ongoing atrocity of female Falun Gong practitioner in China. The next slide, please. First, I want to give an overview of this brutal persecution of about 100 million Falun Gong practitioners in China in the past 26 years. Then I will comment on the ongoing persecutions of last month, August 2025. Then I want to bring up 3 cases of Falun Gong women. Then conclude that with the, all the persecution, including organ harvesting. Next slide, please. Since communists took powers in 1949, 76 years passed. Okay, the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, has waged more than 10 major political movements in the past. For example, 1958, for 3 years, the big famines caused more than 30 million Chinese people die of hunger and starvation. Then, 1966, for 10 years, the great cultural revolutions then smash out all the traditional values and customs. Then, the well-known says 1989, Tiananmen Square student massacred, killed tens of thousands of students asking for freedom and democracy by machine guns and tanks. And the recent one, 1999, is the communists cracked down this 100 million peaceful Falun Gong practitioners. Today I'm going to talk primarily on the female Falun Gong practitioners' atrocity in China. And this slide shows that the great cultural revolutions, communists from the radical Europe just enforced their ideology to the educational system, create this crazy school children's so-called Red Guard. Okay, they shut down the educational systems, college, high school, middle school, primary school for 10 years. No one go to any school for the whole 6 years in the country. They just wandering around, smash out those traditional values, customs, particularly authentic religions and the belief systems. Okay, it is estimated by scholars there are 7.7 million people killed during that 10 years of chaos. If you look at the pictures, the bottom, in the middle of bottom, is a picture of a group of monks being pointed out in front of the public, holding the banner. The banner says, "What are Buddha's scriptures? They are all bullshit." That's the banner. Then on the top right corner, you see the picture of a handful of Catholic nuns being dragged out in front of the public, lower their head, admit their crime in believing in God. So communists has ruthlessly cracked down on all these religions and traditional belief systems. Next slide, please. That was in the past. What is going on today? This, the State Department's Assistant Secretary for Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor, Dr. Robert Destro, who said in the interview with TV, like 2022, say that there are not one, but 3 ongoing genocide happening in China today. Genocide 1 refers to, is widely known, particularly in recent 10 years, involve ethnic and religious persecution in Xinjiang, northwest part of China, which involved 12 million ethnic minority, those Muslim group people. Okay, the genocide 2 is refers to the well-known persecutions in Tibet, southwest part of China, involve about 7 million Buddhist Tibetans on this ethnic religious persecution, very serious. Then genocide 3 is all over China, involve 100 million mainstream Chinese people, mostly Han people, in the past 26 years. And this is what I'm going to elaborate a bit more about. Next slide, please. What is Falun Gong? It's not very well known. Probably some of you. Falun Gong is an ancient spiritual practice in Buddhist traditions. Okay, then it is the refining of one's mind and body, involve meditation and 5 sets of gentle exercises, similar to yoga and Tai Chi in the past. And it was introduced by Mr. Liu Hongzhi in 1992 in northeastern part of China. And it gained popularity in 6 years and increased the followers up to 70 to 100 million people. Primarily because this is immediately obvious health benefit to keep body fit, cure the illnesses. Plus, is emphasize the traditional value from Taoism, Confucianism, and Buddhism. Then, this is the picture on the left, is the teaching books called Zhuan Falun, and on the right are the 5 sets of gentle exercises. Okay, and I have the full-length paper submitted. They have the links. If anybody have the interest, you can go to the website and learn it. Next slide, please. Then because of the popularity that the communists is paranoid, think too many people practice that, more than the member of Communist Party. So they probably feel unsure, with jealousy. In 1999, 26 years ago, they started to crack down this group. The method of torture and the persecutions, I will elaborate more, is unbelievable and brutal. However, the crackdown in China caused a wild acceptance in the world. More than 140 countries and regions in the world welcomed and embraced the peaceful Falun Gong. China, the original state of Falun Gong, is the only one on earth who banned, slander, demonize, and persecute Falun Gong. This is a picture showing that well accepted in Taiwan, in France, in Washington, D.C. Next slide, please. Then, basically, the torture is unbelievable. There are including 2 groups. One is the physical torture. There are more than 100 different methods of tortures you never heard of in humankind history about this follower of Falun Gong practitioner, if they refuse to renounce the belief of Falun Gong. Okay, and the women suffered more brutality than men, because including sexual assaults. I will elaborate more on that. Then, for a healthy practitioner, there are evil psychiatric torture. They send the healthy people to the mental hospital for the mental treatments. They use high voltage electric shock therapy, so-called to kill the problems, but actually kill the people. So if you see the pie charts on the right top, this pie chart was made by UN Special Rapporteurs on Torture, who visited China in 2006 and made a report. It indicates 66% of the reported tortures are Falun Gong, yes, followed by Uyghurs 11%, Tibetan 6%. Then not only kill the people, all kinds of tortures, including physical and psychiatric persecution. Next slide, please. This is a diagram showing the death toll of confirmed reported deaths, like 5273 confirmed death with victims' names, place, all the details, method of persecutions. Among that, 54% are women, more than 2,800 in the past 26 years. On the lower part, there are more than 80,000 individual perpetrators being identified. Okay, being followed in the international NGOs with that. Okay. Was it 5 minutes? Okay. And then there are others. And the most serious persecution is northeastern part of that, amount of 36%, where is the Falun Gong originally come from. Next slide, please. Then this is one of the 3 pictures. This lovely lady is a accounting staff in an art college. He was arrested 4 times, being treated, and they use 8 high voltage electric baton with about 10 kilovolts electric baton, so-called therapy, to torture this lady, burn the face off, disfigured. This picture shows that after a few days of recovery of that. Then after that, he was rescued, then escaped, then arrested again, was tortured to death, which is a very famous famous case. Next slide, please. Skip, next slide. Yeah, this is the persecution in August this year. In 1 month, there are thousands of people being detained, arrested. 69 of them being sentenced with jail terms, up to 8 years. The age go up to 89 years old being sentenced because they think they may overthrow the government. 89 years old cannot even hold machine guns. Okay, how can they overthrow the powerful communist armies? And all these are remains, and they are tortured, and many have been tortured to death. Okay, I have the full length paper. I'll give you the details. This is the month of August, only just a month ago. Next one. And this is Yin Liping, who was rescued to Virginia, a resident in Virginia, who was gang raped by 4 criminal prisoners under the police custody, and videotaped. Okay, during the process, then he was tortured many times to the verge of death, and sent back home and arrested again, recovered, arrested again. And this lady escaped to the United States and testified at our Congress with CECC and speak out her sad story. Okay. He is one of the 318 reported cases of sexual assault. The woodcut painting on the lower left is the case of about year 2000. They sent 18 female Falun Gong practitioners naked thrown to the male jail for group rape. Okay, that's the case, and was reported in the media too. Next slide, please. Skip that. Yeah, next one is another resident of Virginia. I invite him over to Li Hua, who is this lady. She was rescued to the United States and told the stories and shared with our Congress, community, and media. She was arrested several times. One time, when she was pregnant with 4 months, was arrested with her husband. Because she was pregnant, she was released after several days, but her poor husband, being tortured, eventually sentenced for 8 years, suffered all kinds of tortures. The handsome boy turned into this pictures. Then on that, then at the end of the 8th year, he was released from the prison. But during that, he was injected with unknown drugs, with central nerve damaging medicines, and he passed away 13 days after the release of an 8-year term. Then she took the baby girls and the pills many times, then eventually escaped to the United States and stayed in Fairfax County here, and told her stories to various peoples. Okay, and next slide. So just stand here, stand with me. Just 2 minutes, I'll comment on the organ harvesting. The organ harvesting is being heard, but not known much. This was primarily done by the communists, particularly the PLA, the militaries. They killed the prisoner of conscience, Falun Gong practitioners, to practice their skill. Now they are #1 on technology of organ transplantations. They killed tens of millions of innocent people, predominantly is Falun Gong practitioners. The bar charts on the upper left indicate that in our country, we have many donors, organ donors. In our driver's license, there's an organ donor. Just 120 million people willing to donate organs. in our country, 1/3 of population, but we don't have enough organs. There are people waiting for the kidneys, waiting for 2 to 3 years for the organs. 10% of the patients die of waiting. But while in China, you can order the organ for transplant in 2 weeks, 3 weeks time, precisely that. So here is patient waiting for organ donor. There is organ donor waiting for patient. They harvest a large number in concentration camp, just being blood tested, tissue tested in the big data on the supercomputer to match with all the need for CCP elites, for the rich people in the world, and the political leaders. Then there's all kinds of the liver, heart, kidneys, cornea, skin, they are all cost money. So it is much more expensive, the value of people in China. If you are healthy, young, then all the body at about 50 parts can be robbed and transplanted, which worth more than $1 million US. Okay, and so the innocent people being called human mind, like coal mine, copper mine. This is a human mind. All the organs belong to the party. They will harvest that whenever they want. Okay, so the next slide, the last one, just the last slides. Last month, September 3rd, there's a great military parade in Beijing on Tiananmen Square. You probably see how this powerful military built up there. During the peacetime, communists built up military powers for inventions. Xi Jinping and Putin, they talk. When they walk up there, they didn't get mic close at the hard mic, catch their conversation. Okay, they say they use organ transplant, basically organ harvesting, can extend the life of elites to 150 years old. They have developed the technology. They just kill people, of innocent people, to rob the organ to extend the life for that. They can assure it's 150 years old, particularly the babies and children. Okay, because baby organs can grow and less resistance. So this is the new forms of evil on earth, never heard about in our history, in the human histories. With the scale of that, before the crackdown, just 30 seconds, before the crackdown, only a handful of surgeons can do the transplant. Today, there are 9,600 surgeons have certificate can do the transplant. They kill people every day for that. It is a large billion-dollar industry for that. Thanks for listening. I'll be answering the question. Thank you.